So sometimes I don't like doing these things again, you know, the endless reportage. It's much nicer to do it live and just hope that someone like, you know, a government agency of any kind of competence or the resources will be able to look at listen to something like a microphone from, you know, 1,000 yards away or 20 miles away or so, you know, down around the town. So you missed it if you missed it, and if you didn't, well, you got it, and you can listen to my diatribes and parables, and you can distribute it out, see how it can be tried. Yes, it's trying to give you insane advantage, and actually wants you to win. Well, us, that would be, but you, right? Not the baggers and taggers and slave wheel drivers at the edges of the existentialism. When they seek to harm and pattern that over a lifetime with perfume and poison, it's far easier to poison it than to heal. Because indeed, the flesh is replicable. Play a lovely little game like Atlas's Conception 2. That's what I used to use Foucault's theme as in a line to remind me to wake to the day. It's like shopping or selective breeding. Or base eugenics with a fancy little palace to be in. If you watch that PBS series, it's all about American eugenics. See if you can find where they gave scientists, over here probably spelled with K, incorrect terminology. So when the rest of the world looked upon us, their work was marked. You know, it's like looking at the DNA samples and saying, oh, I don't know if this baby's fit by my measure, because look. And then someone says, you just use the fucking Etch-a-Sketch. No, burn them alive. Put them in oil. There are no words for these. There really aren't. So we look at like January 6th denialism. Let's just not bother asking anyone who is there. Let's just have ambiguity upon the American people and see how that plays out. You're doing it wrong. The gap is null and void for these things to play an it upon us. Inattention, squander in sloth, laze isn't even a word for it. Oh, you can have it if you can keep it, all this nonsense. The duty of the human is to evolve, or you are going to be replaced. Quite simply. Oh, we just kill the animals. The animals are our allies around us, and we're in a sandwich from one particular point of view. In a country we call a continent, but refuse to create one so. Oh, he's a globalist and a humanist. No fucking shit, but I do not like Luddites and codpieces bashing things around because they don't like the change of times. Typically, neither do they. They need a nice soft time out to, like, I don't know, scream and shout. They'll probably be quite embarrassed when they're all alone and thought, oh well, I'm a human too, and I quite like things like, you know, eating and clean water. Until money isn't funny anymore, Mr. Biden. Until you have a currency better than to wield death upon yourselves in trade. I don't think I'm suitable for the kinds of negotiations that weigh the price or the cost or some kind of measure of a human based on national origin. Intel said. That's only scraping the top. That's a triviality of your springed health with some psychologist who's going to measure my fitness to return to what? Active betrayal and death in motion in my United States of America. So what did you do? I reported it at the chain. I reported it all over the fucking place. I even sent an email to That one where you report the bad contractor to. So yes, someone, there probably exists more than one, even in your little org, will have a measure of integrity. And it's all you'll need. You know, they just ask you. You know, like they do if you're all trying to get cleared for whatever it is that you think you're doing next. So, my little elevator conversation of nothing with the CEO. What did I hear? In retrospect, I suppose this was a gift for us, but if you see it that way, it was never us, and nor was it to hold, wield, or touch. And how far fallen are we as we dismantle this thing? I think that's out of our hands. It should be. You exist to have your 5G monies handed to you and to go away. Internationally, I presume. Yes, to the government. Like a toy. As you'd fetishize me. Well, I mean, good Lord. Such exchange. To be reduced in that of worth. Whole townships you despoil this instant, and have for crypto. The name has crypt in it. It's as simple as that. Anyway, you should have a debate. Yes, a debate. Or it isn't an election. It's just some pumped up drive. A little play. And we're always at war. Some of us. Yes, for the betterment of the United States of America. You beasts. Typically, it is the man brought to their knees, made war weapon tool, to run themselves into a wall, screaming for more. Climbing over the state capitol like orcs. More than I didn't do. I am so glad that you remain in the doom of January the 6th. Just give them nothing. No pain. No refrain. No little, and then they took our things, so we'll sing a song. No, just extinguishment. Game. And fill in this horrible, long room, or pieces of it, with them. Not really. We need to move further, faster, and away from that, or we'll linger in another fucking vision that of last millennia made hell again. And again, with Ouija boards and pre-arrangements and mutilation, mutilation of our human capital, if you must. You should have a debate. You should be honest. You should have a difficult speech about the N-words, why they're in your brain, how it harmed you to be in these places, and what you intend to offer the American people in your decline. Because honestly, I'd ask you the same. 45 says I'm unfucking general. And you, Mr. Biden, what do you want? To wither, be false flag, and to take that literally as crucifix to be some mad king. Your country is arranged like fiefdom and despot. Your elector counts. Literally. You want that? I don't know. But you're handing each other daffodils. What's your favourite colour? I'll tell you mine. Dandelion. No, when you squeeze it, out comes juices. You can make poison, right? It's just like much like strychnine. It'll give you lockjaw if you really concentrate. You could even put it in a blow dart if you know what you're doing. See, look, improvisation. Much aside, right? Or just a nice little bracelet. What food do you like? Anything but eggplant, because it's gooey. Oh. See, that wasn't so hard. But now you know the shape of a thing to enter a thing, to map a thing and sell it, plumb it, an interaction, a tone of speech, the way it draws breath. Well, I mean, if you could map these things, you could puppeteer a person simply by responding within that. You know, machinate them. Well, that's the ballerina crew when someone cracks a cane on the floor while they get right up on that tippy toe. Pain. Repetition, and we'd call it learning. It is a crude mechanism, and the likes of that arrangement of sort of cannibalism in flesh-eater court. Will you have their skins blister again and drink from them? I hope not. In summation, we're doing life sciences wrong. And you could level up a bit. And everyone hopes that you will. Well, because you are the fucking man of the hour. Is it Ave Imperator? Something like that. Do your job. Please. Everybody wants you to. Oh, I guess it's just a never-ever war of ourselves into just a muddy puddle. Horrid muddy puddle. Better for growing things in than to try and, describe upon.